Welcome, everyone. It's good to see everyone. So can I just get a thumbs up if you can hear me? Awesome, awesome. Thumbs up everywhere. That's fantastic. So I would just like to say that this Zoom session will be recorded, just in case we have students that couldn't quite make it to this particular meeting. I'll be going over like course outline and details like that, and trying to set up the semester for the best of our learning abilities. So if you're not comfortable with your camera being on and everything, you might want to flip it off, but if you're comfortable, that's just fine. It's only going to be available just like on our eClass site, just to us. Okay, so I guess we can kind of slip right into what the game plan for today is. What we're planning on doing is going over eClass, going over the course outline, and going over Piazza. So those three things. And then after that, I want to give you a little taste of what we're going to be doing with some warm-up problems for our course. So if we have time, we'll separate it into small group sizes, and we'll work from there. Okay. So first, I will share my screen, and we can take a look at eClass. Okay, so we should all be able to get onto eClass, at least eventually. So hopefully you can see a page that looks something like this for Math 111. Just so you know, this course is, in a sense, brand new because we didn't used to have 111, but it's very much based upon Math 222. We just wanted to kind of make the course more available. There wasn't really any prerequisites for the course. Before it was any 100 level math class, but we just wanted to make it available to more students. So it's basically the same course, and I'm in the process of kind of gearing my mind to now it's 111. And I noticed in the email I wrote 222, but if you ever see 222, don't be alarmed. It's really the same thing as 111. Okay, so probably the most important thing that you can see on this page, if we just navigate over to the calendar, I've set up the calendar for the whole semester. So if we click through, you can see details all the way up to December. And you can kind of see a bit of the highlighted dates here in different colors. So there's a bit of a color code. Everything that is a group in yellow is a video that I want you to watch that I've pre-recorded for the class. So those items in the yellow are kind of on your own time, but I've still scheduled them for certain days. So you can keep up with the class, but try not to fall behind. You can work ahead, of course. And then the pink dates, the course events, they kind of vary from thing to thing. So you kind of have to hold your mouse over it and see what's going on. So we have some office hours today, and this is the Zoom meeting for today. And then there's no class on Monday because that's a holiday. And then on the 9th, we have office hours again that day. And then the first thing that's due comes up on the 25th. So that's the first assignment due on midnight. You'll be handing that in on eClass electronically, but there is some time to sort it out. I picked out 5 problems for you to work on and submit that day. And then we'll have your grad student will grade it and get it back to you. So there's 4 assignments throughout the semester. So keep your eye on the calendar. The group events, if you didn't see the yellow ones, I have to put you in the specific group that makes it show up in yellow. So if you didn't see those, don't worry. I have to make those adjustments. And as people move in and out of the class, sometimes we don't see things right away and get it updated. And if you can't see E-class quite yet because you're new to the class, don't worry. Your bear tracks will update soon enough. So the takeaway there is we're not meeting on Zoom every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Sometimes we will meet. Like, for example, on the 14th, we're going to meet again. I have a warm-up problem plan for that Monday. But this Friday, there's going to be no formal meeting. You just watch the coin weighing videos that I've made on your own time, but schedule to try to have it done by Friday so you can keep up with things. Okay, so let's dip into what it says in the introduction category. So here I'll be posting anything that we really need quickly with links, and any recordings that we make with Zoom, I'll post it here too in the intro stuff. So the syllabus, let's just jump into that quickly. Okay, so my name is Trevor Passman. You can call me Trevor, and you can use whatever he, she, it, they associated with me that you like. I'm not particularly binary in any other way. I'm multi-type if you like, but I do bring that up because some of us do really like to talk about that nowadays, and you should try to address people the way that they appreciate being addressed by. So it's a good thing to discuss. So of course, if there's any personal issues, email, or even if it's an emergency, the text message is the place to do that. But if you have math questions, we're going to be using Piazza to have an online forum where we can all meet together and discuss things. Piazza is really nice because you can type math notation into it. And it's a nice form that kind of keeps track of our activity as well. And it's part of our grade. Okay, so for textbooks, I have 3 of them listed here. The first 2 are free, just available on eClass, and you don't need to do anything about that. So the first one is the required one that you absolutely need. It's the notes that will go through the videos with you. And the optional textbook is for extra reference, extra problems, extra reading. And then finally, the last optional textbook is The Puzzling Adventures of Dr. Echo. I was saying is a parody on Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes has Watson, and Dr. Echo has Professor Scarlet. So that's why this textbook is called Professor Scarlet's Notebook. So I kind of like to think of myself as playing the role of Dr. Echo teaching this class, and my students play the role of my sidekicks that come along with these puzzles and solve things as Professor Scarlet would as Dr. Echo's sidekick. So lots of the problems that I got from the notes are actually from the Puzzling Adventures of Dr. Echo. So you don't necessarily need the Puzzling Adventures of Dr. Echo. It's really a storybook with math problems and solutions. You can get it if you like. It's a really fun book, but it's completely up to you. And it's not particularly expensive. It's like under $20 the last time I checked. Okay, so we'll have assignments. There'll be 4 of them, each worth 5% of the course. And they'll be due on some Fridays, not all Fridays, just 4 Fridays throughout the semester. And then we'll have some Piazza participation grade worth 10%. We'll discuss that right away. And then we'll have a quiz that kind of replaces the midterm. And then there'll be a final exam. I've divided the course into 6 chapters, and each chapter will have 1 question on the final exam. So each question will be 10% on the final exam. So each chapter will be represented on the final. So often students ask, are we curving the course? And my answer is no, we're just converting the numbers to letters according to this outline right there. Okay, so further explanation about assignments are are here. I want to kind of reiterate something about late assignments. So there's going to be lots of time to do each assignment and lots of time to puzzle over the problems. The problems on the assignments are not necessarily easy, but they take some time and some discussing and all of that. So we're not going to allow any late assignments. And there's kind of a soft due time and a hard due time. The soft due time is 9 p.m. on the Friday, meaning that if you have any trouble submitting the assignment up until 9 p.m., you can let me know and I can help you out, or you can email me. If there's any problems with the system not working, then before 9 p.m., I'm kind of on your team to help you out. But after 9 p.m., then there's a grace period of 3 hours to submit your work, and the final cutoff will be midnight. So the technical due date is midnight, but if you want to use that grace period, you use it at your own risk, because it gets very difficult for me to try to sort out everyone's issues right before the due time. So that 3 hour bubble is to use at your own risk for technical issues. So try to solve all technical issues before 9 p.m. and I'll support you through that. Okay, so participating on the Piazza form is an important part of the course as well. And I want us to use Piazza kind of to our own learning desires. And that's not the same for everyone. So it does make it a bit of a challenge to fairly distribute this grade. But we're going to do our best to do so. So I'll just flip over to what Piazza looks like for a moment. So if we just scroll over here, I think we can find it. Okay, so the main page on Piazza should look like this. And if you scroll to question and answer, then you can see some posts that may have been made. I made an introduction post right here, and we can start discussing things, and you can start making new posts. And there are some rules and some guidelines that I want us to abide by. So let's just go back to the course outline to figure that out. So some of the things we want to think about to help your participation along is ask questions that contribute to our learning community, answer other students' questions, read everything that is posted on Piazza, and follow the rules and etiquette that's below. So don't worry about making mistakes when you're trying to help someone else out. I don't expect you to be perfect. I'll be reading through everything. And one of the nice things is that an instructor can say a quick little comment and endorse an answer. And if an answer is endorsed by an instructor, you know that I read it and I appreciate everything that's written there, and I really value it to be heard by all the students. So not that I don't value the other comments as well, it's just that I want to endorse, here is when it's correct. And of course, there's a process to getting there. And so don't feel bad if your answer is not endorsed or your question is not endorsed. It's just a working process that I'm trying to communicate to everyone what is correct and what's not correct. Okay, so the Piazza form rules, I want to try to get us to abide by a few of these. So don't post questions that are already answered in the course outline or on eClass. So we're required to read that information, and we don't want to keep duplicating the same information over and over and over. The reason is I want Piazza to be a nice resource that we can all go to and quickly find the information that we need. But if 10 people ask the same question that's already been answered on the course outline or somewhere on eClass, then it can be get sort of confusing. Well, where is the right answer? If we keep everything about one question under the same post, and it's perfectly fine if, you're trying to look for something and you can't find it, then just you post on Piazza and say, well, I can't find this, and we can link you to the right spot where you're supposed to find it. So the better etiquette, instead of answering a duplicate question or asking a duplicate question, is to give us a source of somewhere on Piazza where it's already been answered, or somewhere on eClass where it's already been answered. And we want to do this in a very kind way. We all make mistakes and we miss things. So we want to try to be kind and just say, oh, you might have missed it. Here's where you might want to look to find that information. And we're all going to try to participate in helping each other out, me, myself included. So when we're making a new post, we want to make sure that we make a proper name for that post. So there's some naming rules that I've posted on eClass. And if it's about a specific assignment problem, make the name exactly how I recommended on eClass. And that way we're not making 10 different new posts about the exact same question. And it just makes it, like I said before, easier for us to use the resource and find the answers that we need. So also on Piazza, there is a folder, and I've made a whole bunch of different folders for the different topics for our course. So please make sure that you're picking the correct folder. If you're talking about coin weighing in your post, you're making a new post, that's great. Just label it with the coin weighing folder, so we can just check what I mean by that. So there's all these folders right at the top here. There's like general, so you can notice that this introduction was just in general. That's your space to post whatever you like. If you don't really know where it fits, then you can just plop it into general. And then we have homework 1, homework 2, homework 3, homework 4, and then each of the lecture topics, like coin weighing, for example. So if you click on that, well, there's no one that's posted there just yet, but we're going to get to that point. Okay, so anything else to discuss? Yeah, just quickly, the Piazza etiquette and the things you should be kind of thinking about when we're doing things online. Use proper language, proper grammar, spelling. Try to recognize that when you're writing for the whole class. I know that can feel daunting, but just try to use the best language and appropriate language that you can. As we talked about a little bit earlier, do be respectful. Our learning levels, our knowledge levels are going to be varied, and that's perfectly fine. And we're going to have diversity and different opinions. So we'll try to be kind and respectful to each other when we're answering and asking questions. So one thing that I try to do in my job at all times is be professional. And of course, we're going to have some bumps along the road with doing this all online, but we'll try to be truthful, accurate. I'll try to tell you when I don't know something and try to give you the best answer when I do know something, and I expect you to do the same. So we'll try to address people appropriately by whatever title they like. We talked about that earlier. And just as if you were in a face-to-face situation, I'll try to give everyone the same amount of respect that they would have there online as well. Okay, so the rest of the course outline is things that you might want to just read over quickly on your own. There's some quick little rules on the eClass quiz, how that's going to work, the final exam. Maybe we should just highlight that the final exam rules, as you go through the semester, you are allowed to prepare a single sheet of paper. So it's not a completely closed book exam. You can do whatever you want with that sheet of paper. So I always like that as a study tool. As I went through my university courses, some professors did that for me, and I really appreciated it. If you kind of think about something and you're like, oh, I really want to remember that for my final exam, well, you can write it down on your sheet or type it on your sheet. And please don't ask me further questions about what you can and can't put on the sheet. You can put anything you like. It just has to follow these rules. You can use that space however you want, front and back, no issues there. So we'll also be allowed to use a non-programmable calculator for this course. So I think from here, let's just go back to eClass. Yeah, back to eClass. So the course material is all here. So chapter 1 is where we'll start. If you click on that, then you'll notice that coin weighing is the first goal of this week. So we want to kind of go through those details. Coin weighing means that that's the file with the blank problems. And then coin weighing filled in is where I've gone and written in my solutions to the problems. And there's all of the videos that I've made to help you out with the coin weighing stuff. If you go through them in order, it should take you through the same order that's in the notes here. And anything extra, I believe these two are just kind of extra short add-ons, will be kind of put at the bottom. So everything is in a nice order to how we go through things. So with that, how about we start by going through one of the problems here, and I'll get you to go into breakout rooms so you can meet each other. I think there's kind of 3 pillars to learning online. The first pillar is the course material itself. We need the knowledge. The second pillar that will hold us up is your relationship with your instructor. So trying to make sure that I'm facilitating the course to the best of my ability, and we have a good relationship between the two of us, teacher and student. And the final pillar would be the student-to-student relationship. So I want you to talk to your fellow students on Piazza. I want you to meet on Zoom if you can, or if it's possible, maybe it's not, but to meet in person. I want you to be discussing the problems. I want you to be discussing the course material. So let's get a taste of that right now. Okay, so most all of the lectures have a warm-up problem. So this is what we're going to do for the rest of our time today, is work on a warm-up problem. So for the coin weighing problem, there are 9 coins. They're all identical, except one is slightly heavier than the others. Our first objective is to try to find that counterfeit coin, the one that's slightly heavier, in 2 weighings on a pan balance. So what is a pan balance? A pan balance is something that either tips to the left or tips to the right, or it could stay balanced with the 2 pans. So if you put an equal amount of weight, then it stays the same. If one side is heavier, it tips to that side. So the coin is slightly heavier than the others. So it wouldn't be like the heavy coin is just 1 coin on one side and then you put 2 on the other and it balances out. It's just a tiny difference. So if you put 2 coins versus 2 coins and the heavy coin is on there, that side will go down. So then the second challenge is kind of similar. Now we're going to have just 8 coins. They're all identical except this one counterfeit, the one bad coin, is either too heavy or too light. We don't know which one it is, either slightly heavier or slightly lighter. But this time we'll give you 3 weighings to try to figure out the problem. So this gives you a nice little introduction to where to start and start discussing, and to kind of get you introduced to the videos that you're going to be watching. So now is the time where I get to play with the breakout room facilitating